Have you ever felt an icy chill run down your spine? The kind that only comes when something is deeply, unnervingly wrong? Imagine being alone at night when you hear a soft knock on your door. You peek through the window and see two children standing on your doorstep, their faces pale, their expressions blank. At first, you feel a sense of unease, but you try to brush it off. They're just kids, right? But then you notice their eyes. Black, empty, soulless. A darkness so profound it feels as if it's pulling you in, and suddenly, your fear takes over. What would you do? Let them in, or slam the door and pray they disappear? This is the terrifying reality of the black-eyed children. The myth of the black-eyed children is one of the most chilling tales to emerge in recent years, capturing the imaginations and fears of people around the world. These mysterious figures, often described as young children with pitch-black eyes, have become the stuff of nightmares. Unlike any children you've ever encountered, they appear out of nowhere, often in the dead of night, and their intentions are far from innocent. Whether they approach you on a lonely road, knock on your door, or ask to be let into your car, there's always something off about them, something that sets your instincts ablaze with terror. First documented in the late 1990s, the stories of the black-eyed children quickly spread, fueled by the rise of the internet and the human fascination with the unknown. What started as a single, eerie encounter shared online has grown into a modern legend, with countless reports from people who claim to have experienced the same unsettling phenomenon. These accounts vary in detail, but one thing remains consistent: the children's eyes, black as the deepest void, and the overwhelming sense of dread they invoke. But who, or what, are these black-eyed children? Are they spirits, demons, or perhaps something even more sinister? Some believe they are a new form of urban legend, born from the digital age and spread like wildfire through online communities. Others are convinced these children are real, otherworldly beings that blur the lines between the supernatural and reality. Regardless of the explanation, the myth continues to thrive, haunting the thoughts of those who dare to delve into its dark depths. The legend of the black-eyed children is as eerie as it is enigmatic, with a distinct pattern of encounters that leaves a lasting impression on those who experience it. Typically, these children appear in pairs, usually late at night or in the early hours of the morning, and they often target people who are alone. The encounters usually begin innocuously: a knock at the door, a tap on the window, or even a sudden, unexpected appearance at the edge of a deserted parking lot. At first glance, they seem like ordinary children, though their clothes might be slightly outdated or their demeanor somewhat strange. They speak in a flat, emotionless tone, their words carefully chosen, often asking for help, to use the phone, or to come inside. It's only when you look into their eyes that the true horror of the situation becomes apparent. The eyes of these children are completely black, devoid of any whites or irises, resembling two deep, empty voids. This unnatural feature is what gives them their name, and what immediately sends a shiver down the spine of anyone who encounters them. The sight of those pitch-black eyes is often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread, as if the very presence of these children defies the natural order. People who encounter them often describe feeling an instinctive urge to flee, a primal fear that something is terribly, horribly wrong. Another disturbing aspect of these encounters is the way the children seem to know just how to manipulate their victims. Despite their eerie appearance, they often speak in a way that's designed to evoke sympathy or compliance, like insisting they need to come inside to call their parents or that they're lost and need directions. Yet, there's something off about their behavior: an unnatural stillness, an odd choice of words, or a persistent, almost robotic repetition of their requests. They never seem to show any genuine emotion, only a cold, calculated determination to get what they want: entry into your home, your car, your life. Those who resist this urge to help often describe feeling as if they narrowly escaped something truly evil. The black-eyed children reportedly become more insistent, even angry, if denied entry, but they never force their way in. Instead, they rely on their victims' fear, curiosity, or pity to gain access. However, those who have let them in often report a deep sense of regret, accompanied by a series of unfortunate events or lingering feelings of dread. It's as if these encounters leave a mark, a shadow that refuses to lift, long after the children themselves have vanished without a trace. The origins of the black-eyed children myth are as murky as the tales themselves, with the first known account emerging in 1996. This initial story was shared by a journalist named Brian Bethel, who recounted a terrifying experience that would go on to spark a modern legend. According to Bethel, he was sitting in his car in a parking lot one evening when two boys approached him, asking for a ride. They seemed ordinary enough at first, but as Bethel spoke with them, he became increasingly uneasy. The boys were insistent, speaking in a way that was both unnervingly calm and persistent. It wasn't until Bethel noticed their pitch-black eyes that he was gripped by an overwhelming sense of fear, prompting him to drive away as quickly as possible. Bethel's story, initially shared on an online forum, quickly went viral, leading to a flood of similar reports from people around the world. These stories all share common elements: the children's pale skin, their outdated clothing, and, most chillingly, their coal-black eyes. Some accounts even describe the children having slightly distorted features, adding to the sense that something is fundamentally wrong with them. These children always seem to target individuals in vulnerable situations, alone at night, in remote locations, or during moments of distraction. Theories about who or what these black-eyed children might be vary widely. Some believe they are spirits, perhaps the restless souls of children who died under tragic circumstances, now wandering the earth seeking something they've lost. Others think they might be demons in disguise, attempting to gain entry into the mortal world by preying on the kindness and compassion of unsuspecting humans. Another popular theory is that they are extraterrestrial beings, or even human-alien hybrids, sent to observe or interact with humanity in ways we don't yet understand. The idea that the black-eyed children could be a modern urban legend also has its proponents. In this view, the stories are a product of the digital age, where tales of horror and mystery can spread rapidly through the internet, gaining traction and evolving with each retelling. The black-eyed children have become a cultural phenomenon, a reflection of modern fears and anxieties, especially around the idea of malevolent forces hiding in plain sight. The fact that these children resemble humans yet exhibit distinctly inhuman traits plays into deep-seated fears of the uncanny, things that look almost real but are fundamentally not. As the myth of the black-eyed children has grown, so too have the stories of encounters. Each new tale adds to the lore, creating a patchwork of fear that continues to haunt those who hear it. Whether they are spirits, demons, aliens, or simply the products of collective imagination, one thing remains certain. The black-eyed children have carved out a dark place in modern mythology, a symbol of the unknown that refuses to be easily explained or dismissed. One of the most chilling stories involving the black-eyed children comes from a woman who encountered them late one night as she was driving home from work. It was a cold, rainy evening, and the roads were nearly deserted. As she drove through a quiet neighborhood, she noticed two figures standing under a dim streetlight. At first, she thought they were just children waiting for a ride, perhaps stranded in the rain. Feeling a pang of sympathy, she slowed down to offer them help. As she approached, she saw that they were a boy and a girl, both looking to be around 10 years old. They were standing unnaturally still, not shivering or fidgeting despite the cold and wet conditions. She rolled down her window slightly and asked if they needed a ride home. The children didn't answer right away. Instead, they simply stared at her with a blank expression. Then, the boy stepped forward, his voice calm and steady as he asked, "Can you take us home?" There was something unsettling about his tone, something that made her instinctively wary. When she glanced at their faces, she noticed something that made her blood run cold. Their eyes were completely black. No whites, no irises, just two dark voids staring back at her. The woman felt a surge of fear, a primal instinct telling her to get away from these children as quickly as possible. But she was frozen, caught between the natural inclination to help a child and the overwhelming terror these children inspired. The girl then spoke, her voice a mirror of the boy's eerie calmness. "Please, we need to go home. It won't take long." The woman felt the urge to open the car door, to let them in, but she couldn't shake the feeling that if she did, something terrible would happen. She was gripped by a sense of dread so intense that she could hardly breathe. The air around her seemed to grow colder, the world narrowing down to just her, the children, and those impossibly black eyes. Summoning all her strength, she managed to say, "No, I can't help you," before quickly rolling up her window. The children didn't move, didn't plead or knock on the window. They just stood there, watching her with those empty eyes. As she drove away, she glanced in the rearview mirror and saw that they were still standing in the same spot, watching her car disappear into the distance. The sense of unease lingered long after she got home, and for weeks she couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching her, waiting for another chance to ask for her help. This encounter highlights the terrifying nature of the black-eyed children, how they blend the familiar with the unsettling, drawing people in with their appearance as innocent children only to reveal something far more sinister. The cold, calculated way they interact, the unnatural stillness of their movements, and of course, those black, soulless eyes all contribute to a sense of horror that stays with the witnesses long after the encounter is over. It's not just the fear of the children themselves, but the fear of what might have happened if the woman had let them into her car, a question that remains unanswered and continues to haunt her to this day. This moment, where the terror of the encounter reaches its peak, encapsulates the essence of the black-eyed children myth. It's a tale of the unknown, of something dark and mysterious that lies just beneath the surface of the ordinary, waiting to strike when least expected. It's the kind of story that leaves a mark lingering in the back of your mind, making you wonder, what would you do if you encountered the black-eyed children? The myth of the black-eyed children has captured the collective imagination in a way few modern legends have, tapping into deep-seated fears and the primal terror of the unknown. At the heart of this myth is a combination of factors that make it so compelling and terrifying. The idea of something that looks human but isn't, something that wears the familiar guise of a child yet exudes an aura of malevolence, plays on our most basic instincts. It's the fear of the uncanny, things that are almost, but not quite, normal, that makes the black-eyed children so unsettling. One of the reasons the myth resonates so strongly is the universal fear of the unknown. The children's appearance, innocent, yet with those black, soulless eyes, creates a powerful contrast that strikes at the core of our anxieties. There's something inherently disturbing about the idea that these beings could exist in the world, blending in with the ordinary, only to reveal their true, sinister nature when it's too late. It's a reminder that not everything is as it seems, and that danger can sometimes come in the most unexpected forms. The myth spread has been significantly aided by the internet, which serves as both a breeding ground and a megaphone for modern legends. With the rise of online forums and social media, stories of the black-eyed children quickly gained traction, shared and reshaped by people across the globe. What began as a single, eerie account evolved into a phenomenon, with each retelling adding new layers to the legend. The internet allows these stories to reach a vast audience, creating a sense of immediacy and realism that amplifies the fear they inspire. Moreover, the myth taps into the fear of loss of control. Encounters with the black-eyed children often involve a struggle between the natural urge to help and the overpowering instinct to run. The children's uncanny ability to manipulate emotions and create a sense of dread challenges our sense of agency. We like to believe we are in control of our decisions, but the myth of the black-eyed children suggests that under the right circumstances, even the strongest of wills can be bent by fear. This loss of control, the idea that something as simple as a knock on the door could lead to unimaginable consequences, is a powerful driver of the legend's enduring appeal. Finally, the black-eyed children myth serves as a reflection of contemporary anxieties. In a world where we are constantly connected, yet often isolated, the idea of encountering something unknown and malevolent in a seemingly safe space, like your home or car, resonates deeply. The legend blurs the lines between reality and fiction, between safety and danger, making us question what we believe and how we respond to the inexplicable. It's this blending of the familiar with the terrifying that keeps the myth alive, a dark mirror reflecting our deepest fears and the unknown lurking just beyond the edge of our everyday lives. As we've explored, the myth of the black-eyed children is one of the most unsettling legends to emerge in recent memory, capturing the imaginations of those who hear it and leaving a lasting impression of fear and curiosity. The chilling encounters, characterized by the children's eerie appearance and their strange, emotionless behavior, are at the heart of this modern-day horror story. These stories, whether experienced firsthand or shared through the internet, tap into our deepest fears, those of the unknown, the uncanny, and the loss of control in situations where something appears to be just slightly off, yet profoundly wrong. The legend's power lies in its simplicity and the primal terror it evokes. The black-eyed children look like ordinary kids at first glance, but their pitch-black eyes betray something far more sinister, something that defies logic and challenges our understanding of reality. This is why the myth has spread so widely, evolving with each retelling and continuing to captivate those who dare to delve into its dark narrative. It's a story that resonates across cultures, a shared fear of encountering the unnatural in the most unexpected of places. Theories about the origins of the black-eyed children vary, from them being spirits or demons to extraterrestrial beings, or even the creations of a collective urban legend. Regardless of their true nature, the stories surrounding them persist, fueled by our fear of what we cannot understand. The internet has played a significant role in the propagation of this myth, allowing it to reach a global audience and take root in our collective consciousness. Each new encounter, each new story, adds to the mythos, ensuring that the black-eyed children remain a potent symbol of modern folklore. In summary, the black-eyed children myth endures because it taps into universal fears of the unknown, of the uncanny, and of losing control in the face of something inexplicable. Whether you see them as a reflection of contemporary anxieties or as real, malevolent entities, there's no denying the impact these stories have had on those who hear them. The myth serves as a reminder that some things in the world defy explanation, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the moment when we let our guard down. And in that moment, the black-eyed children might just come knocking.